We are live here on Monday. It is the Rich Lieberman Media Pulse. After a couple of days off, welcome you back to the Bay Area's only live and sometimes interactive media vehicle. And look, I really hate doing this, but part of the reason why you come here, the people that come here and watch me, is you like the fact that I am real and genuine on my thoughts and opinions. This is not a scoop. This is not how can I put it? This is not an announcement about a certain particular media transaction. This is an opinion. And I have to say it because uh, I have to say it. Greg Papa, one of the biggest sports media personalities in the Bay Area, and I didn't put the headline out there for shock value. I put it out there because it's true. Dereliction of duty. Greg Papa on the 49ers broadcasts, on the 49ers post game broadcasts. And look, on a Monday after a 49ers game, particularly in the early season, this is only the second week of the NFL season, the 49ers are a big to do in the Bay Area. Always pretty much has been the number one sports team in the Bay Area. Even when the Raiders were good, the 49ers were always, and they were lousy for many, many years, as most of you know, but they became very huge, both sports end, media end, social media, social world in the Bay Area. Anyway, Greg Papa became about 5 years ago the play-by-play voice for the San Francisco 49ers. And I've never, ever warmed to Greg Papa as the play-by-play voice. I think he's hysterical at times. I think he gets caught up in his own crazy world of these dumb nicknames and screaming and having a horrible play-by-play call of a touchdown, especially when you consider the fact that we grew up, I did, in an era with Lon Simmons and Don Klein and people like that, John Madden, Hank Greenwald, baseball, Bill King, this horrific style that Papa has integrated into his broadcast. Now, forget all of that for a second. He does a radio show on KNBR, and for the life of me, uses these pretentious, god awful phrases and football vernacular inside football where he assumes that everybody, even non football fans, understands what the hell he's talking about. And it is not only pretentious, not only is it annoying, it's a disservice. It is a dereliction of duty. Now, the world is not going to end because Greg Papa chooses to think in his own mind that his uses of phrases and goofy nicknames and going into detail about words that nobody knows what the hell he's talking about. I'm not talking strictly play by play here, where he uses these pretentious alpha romations and bravo tops and cutbacks and referring to players as gravediggers. Nobody knows who the hell he's talking about. If you're a diehard San Francisco 49ers fan, what if you don't know what the hell he's talking about? Does he factor that in when he's talking at length? Does he ever consider the fact that when he migrates from the broadcast booth into his role as a sports talker on KNBR, some of what he says not only makes no sense, not only does he not take into account a lot of people who are tuning in to get a decent analysis of what happened on Sunday or Monday night or Thursday night. He does not. He continues to use these bizarre, fake, crazy analogies and impress you with his football knowledge, which, by the way, is somewhat impressive. But when you don't know what he's saying, what he's meaning, it's bizarre. And look, I'm not a John Lund fan, his co-host on KNBR. I think Lund is an imbecile. I think Lund is a radio gypsy who moves from place to place, brags about the fact that he's worked in gazillions of markets when he's been fired and he's left over in San Francisco. And when Greg Papa literally talks over him on a broadcast on KNBR, he talks over him, doesn't even listen to him, which is not ironically that bad. It's crazy, folks. It is nutty. Maybe Greg Papa, when he's bleaching his hair black so he can look somewhat, I guess, intelligent on the YouTube shows that KNBR broadcasts are on now, maybe that's affected his brain. That's a little bit of a personal shot. Shame on me. But it is inexplicable to me that he is able to get away with this crap. It's crap. It is a dereliction of duty to use phrases like a body grave or a grave digger or this, that, or the other, or the alpha set or the promo set, and to use these utterly pretentious. I keep using that word pretentious. That's what it is. He's trying to impress you all with his knowledge of football vernacular. But all it is goo goo, gaga, papa gaga is what I'm trying to say. And he doesn't get called out. He should be called out. And I'm calling him out. And yes, I'm calling him out. I used to respect Greg Papa, and now it's like, what the hell are you talking about, Greg Papa? And even worse, when he's discussing and doing the actual play-by-play analysis, he uses these caught. Somebody will back up like the quarterback, and he uses these phrases, caught. We don't know what he's talking about. We don't know the receiver in which he's saying the ball is caught. Number one. Number two, and probably the most hideous of them all, Papa's inexplicable giggle or gargle. He could be saying a routine. This is not just on the play-by-play, but when he's doing his Monday or Tuesday, or it happens every day, his analysis of anything, he'll be talking very, very sincere and discussing something, maybe a trend, maybe something that took place, and all of a sudden, like, I call it the KNBR giggle or gargle. What has happened to Greg Papa? Does he have to giggle in the middle of something very serious? Out of nowhere, it makes you wonder. You shake your head between the giggles and the use of football terms and whippersnapper and gargle ban and I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Nobody knows what the hell he's talking about. His partner is an imbecile who says, like you said, repeats that every 2 seconds. And Papa literally talking over, which is not that bad of a deal, over idiotic, imbecilic John Lund makes for a very, very painful broadcast, a painful play-by-play account, and a painful to listen to KNBR when he is on the air. Folks, an abomination, a dereliction of duty. He's dyeing his hair He talks about the fact that he's this, that, and the other, yet he makes no sense. Part of the K and B are gobble of goo. Nobody gets it. It's pretentious. It is awkward. It is bizarre. It is the worst I have ever heard. He needs to be called out. And I just called him out. How do you feel?